everybody, this is Professor Tadone, and this is a tutorial on how to create a PowerPoint for presentation. First thing you want to do is after you pull up your PowerPoint, let me see, grab this, press on my PowerPoint icon and I will get to a blank screen here, okay, a blank slide. Before I start adding any verbiage to my presentation, I want to set it up. So the first thing I'm going to do to set it up, I want to make sure that I have this ruler here. Okay, that's pretty important. So I'm going to go to View. Now we're going to do something that's very important for the aesthetics of this presentation. You want to have a really nice background on your slides. To add that design, you go to Design, and you'll have a bunch of different designs that show up. Yours will probably be different than mine, but for example, if I hover my cursor over these, it will show you what the title slides are going to look like. All right. Now, if you want something different, there are different ones that are probably stored on your computer. I'm sure they're different than mine. And if you don't see anything you like, you're not stuck with what we've got in there. If you don't see something you like, go back to File and do New, and that will show you some other layouts that are available for you for your design. At the beginning here, I kind of like this one right here, so I'm going to click on it, and it will give me my title slide. For my title slide, we're going to do this on Border Collies. And you put the name of your presentation there and the name of the authors that are going to be presenting. After that, put the date of completion. And now we're ready to go with our next slide. To add your next slide, go back to your home key up here, make this large. Go to your home key and see where it says new slide. Above that, there's a little slide with a sunburst on the upper left-hand corner. Click on that, and that will get you to your new slide. On your new slide, let's say we want to have objectives for our presentation, and then I'm going to put what my objectives are. Okay, and after you put in your verbiage for this slide, you're going to notice that there is a bullet point here. If you wanted to change the bullet points, you could. But it's kind of neat to use what they offer because then it will be consistent throughout the entire presentation. Now what I want to do for this is I want to add some notes down at the bottom. So I'm going to go to my notes section, which is right there. And I'm going to put who's going to be saying what if I have multiple people that are presenting. So let's say Julie is presenting the first part, and she will put down a brief summary of what she's going to be presenting, or you can even do word for word, whatever you choose. And let's say Mark is going to do the second part, and what Mark is going to be talking about right here. And then let's say Kelly is doing the last part. And something else that some presenters like to do is they like to put down here how long each of their parts are. You don't have to, but that is an option, okay? And if you use any kind of citations in your slide, or you say anything that is a citation or from another source, you would put that here. Okay, let's say Mark. Okay, if I were to do a direct quote, that's what I would put right there, right next to my direct quote, just like I would any other direct quote. Okay, and your period at the end. Now you notice on here I don't have complete sentences. You do not need to use complete sentences on the slides. If you have a lot of verbiage on there and a lot of sentences, it's going to be something you read off of the slide, which is something that anybody can read the slides. You need to offer more of yourself. So use this as use your slides as something that will enhance what you're talking about rather than saying verbiage, word by word by word by word of what you're talking about. My next slide, if I can be here again, new slide, and I'm going to put on here the title of this slide, and let's say we're going to put more information about our subject. And even Google Pictures is not something that's available across the board anymore, so we have to choose our pictures from a different source. To do so, just go to your insert, and you can actually go to pictures right here. And you could choose a picture from your own personal files if you choose. If you don't see something here that you like, go to your online pictures, Bing image search, and right here, Border Collie. I'll click on that, and it will give me lots of different pictures I can choose from. So I'm going to choose, let's say I choose this picture right here. Put a little, click on that, insert, and then that picture will show up on your slide. You see how huge this picture is? That's okay because you can decrease the size by just dragging it down, and you can move it wherever you choose to place it. Okay? And I would also, on there, put this information here because this is information about the slide. And you see how this slide covers up some. If I want these words here to show up, go back to your photo and right click on it. And you'll have send to back. Click on that, and then your picture will go to the back like that. And you can even make it bigger if you choose at this point. Okay, so that is how you add a picture. You need to do another slide with online picture. And for Bing, let's do veterinarian. And it will show you pictures of vets, and you can just scroll down till you see it. Right click, insert, and I've got my picture of a vet with my Border Collie. That's a weird looking Border Collie, but that's okay, it counts. We got title. Or whatever you're putting in. Now you see this word is spelled wrong. Just like in Word, when you have a word that's spelled wrong, it's going to underline it. If I right click, it will give me the correct spelling. Okay? Now if I want to put information in here, I can. I'm just going to leave this with the picture because I'm just going to be talking about it. And I could put down here in my notes who's going to be talking about that, what they're going to be talking about. Let's see, she does one citation about this particular thing, citation here. Period. Okay. Go on to our next slide. And let's be talking about another subject. If I want to put in a picture, I can go right up here again to insert online picture, Bing image, and we have, let's say, cost of dog. I'm going to look for that. And there we go. My picture all the way over to here. Then I'm going to right click on it and bring it to the back, and my words will show up. Okay, new slide, and just like you would in your paper, write the word references. And here's where I'm going to put my references for my citations or other information that I provided that came from an outside source. Right here I'm going to get rid of my bullet before I do anything, so I'm going to go there and backspace. Now I've gotten rid of my bullet, and I'm going to enter. I've entered my reference. Now before I go any further and add any other references, I want to set this up in APA formatting. you will see on your instructions for your assignment, it will tell you whether or not you need to do your references in APA formatting, and I believe almost all of them have that. So if it is APA formatting, just put in your very first references, put your cursor before the first letter of the second sentence, right there, and you're going to go up to your ruler. Now this is where we need the ruler. See this little, it's like an hourglass here. Place your cursor on the bottom part of the hourglass and slide it over to the number 1. Now your references are all going to be in APA formatting. They're all going to be with that hanging indentation. If you insert and put in your next reference and your next reference, they'll always be set up in APA formatting from this point on this slide, okay? When I add my new slide, we do not have that APA formatting automatically like we did before. So you're going to have to either do one of two things: add this slide and do the same procedure you did with the last, or you can do something that's kind of neat here. Let me get rid of this that I just added. Okay, right here, you could do something that's really kind of neat. You can do right-click and copy, duplicate your slide, and then you'll have that same slide there with the same setup for formatting. So just get rid of all of this and enter your new reference here. If you have a second slide for your references, and watch what it will do. It will automatically go into that APA formatting, okay? That's how you do the references. Now go all the way back to your first slide. If you want to make any corrections, you absolutely can. There's no reason why you can't, to either the note section or the slide itself. So you can go back and make corrections if you choose. And when you get back to the first, we want to put our slide number on these slides. And to do that, we're going to insert, and then you're going to slide over to the right where it says slide number. Click on that. Now it's going to give you all these different options. All you really want to do for your slides is slide number and apply to all. And that will put that slide number on every single slide. There's a 1, there's a 2. So now that we've completed our presentation, we have our notes done, and we have our reference page done. We have some lovely photos in there, so it's very aesthetically pleasing. Nothing is going to take away from your presentation by being too busy or too crowded. So we can go to setting this up for presenting. One thing that's really kind of fun to do for this is if you go to transitions, there's all different kinds of ways you can go from one slide to the next. And when you put your cursor over this and click on it, it will show you how it would transition to the next slide. Okay, so there's some really fun ones. Some of them take a little too long, some of them are a little distracting. So do something that's going to be least distracting. And of course, if I go to my down arrow, I will find more. Now, let's say for this particular one, I'm going to just do the flip. It's kind of fun. Now, for this to happen with all of your slides, do apply to all. And now when I go from one slide to the next, it's going to be with that particular transition. And you can watch your presentation, go to your little icon here, start from beginning, or you can use that one right there, slideshow. There you go. And if I go to my next, it shows all the different slides. Now, one thing you notice when you look at the slideshow, your notes do not appear on here. So your classmates will not see the notes when you do your presentation. And what you want to do so you can see your notes, I'm going to do the end slideshow. So you can look at your notes. There's a couple things you can do. If you want to print your notes, which is a good idea, go to File, Print, and you will have some different options here. I would go to right here, Full Page Slides, click that little down arrow, and you will have the option to look at your notes page, the outline, or different ways to print your slides. For the notes page, click on that, and it will give you your notes on the different slides. So any time you had notes that you had added will show up right here. Now the neat thing about this is when you do your presentation, usually there's a time limit attached to it. When there is, it's a really good idea to rehearse your presentation. And when you have these notes, they keep you on track, so you're able to keep close to the time limit that you have. We do that to print the presentation for your classmates if you were to choose to do so. Go back to here where you have your notes page, and you're going to click on this for 3 slides. All right? And that will show you all the slides for the presentation, and your slide numbers remain on these slides. We can't see them from this version, but they're right down there. If you don't want to do it in color, you want to do it in black and white, you also have that option. Okay? I kind of like colors. So that's how you print it. So I believe you are all set. We have our title slide, we have the additional slides, we have our photos to enhance, and we have our notes for the notes page. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Your professor will be able to help you in any way possible. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.